Unfortunately, Kathleen Fisher could not join really the conference. She had another meeting, but she wanted to support us, so she has recorded a message that will play to you. But just the introduction first. So Kathleen has been instrumental into bringing CHERI from research into national programs. And she's a long-standing leader in secure systems and programming language, and she has championed CHERI through major DARPA initiatives. She has now joined ARIA as a CEO to continue connecting deep technical foundation with real-world impact and deployment. So let's hear the quick message from Kathleen, and hopefully everything will be okay.
Hello, everyone. I'm very sorry that a scheduling conflict prevents me from being with you in person today. However, given the trajectory of the work being discussed at Cherry Blossoms, I didn't want to miss the opportunity to share a few reflections on the arc of high assurance, a journey many of us have traveled together. My perspective on this mission was forged during my time at DARPA, particularly as the program manager for HACMS, while my colleague Howie Schroeb was laying the foundational clean slate hardware groundwork with the Crouch program. Our team focused on the software layer. We were asking if we could use formal methods to create software that was fundamentally resilient against remote exploitation. We proved this approach with the Boeing unmanned Little Bird. We hardened that platform with high assurance kernels and invited a world-class red team to do its worst. They couldn't get in. Even with full access to the source code, they could not find a way to pivot from a non-critical component to take control of the flight system. This result showed that while no system is unhackable, of course, security is always a function of the threat model, we can use formal methods to eliminate entire classes of vulnerabilities. But even then, we knew that high assurance software is only as strong as the ground it stands on. We eventually hit limits if the underlying hardware architecture is inherently porous. That reality is exactly why the evolution of CHERI has been so important. This architecture provides the hard deck that formal methods need to actually deliver on their promise. Today, this hard deck is no longer a research luxury, it's a national security imperative. As the former director of I2O, and now as the CEO of ARIA, I see a threat landscape that has shifted dramatically. During my time at DARPA, I oversaw the launch and execution of the AI Cyber Challenge, affectionately known as AICC. That program was born from a recognition that we are entering an era of attacker uplift. AI is fundamentally changing the asymmetric nature of cyber warfare. This technology lowers the barrier to entry, enabling a much larger collection of attackers to discover and exploit vulnerabilities at machine speed. We've created a world where everything from our power grid to our transport is controlled by software, and the software is now being probed by AI-driven adversaries. In this environment, the old patch and pray cycle is obsolete. If an attacker can use AI to find a needle-sized hole in 1 million lines of code, our only viable defense is to ensure that entire classes of vulnerability cannot exist by design. This challenge is exactly why we are focused on these issues at ARIA. We're looking for the opportunity spaces that can fundamentally change the trajectory of our digital future. Through our Safeguarded AI and Scaling Trust programs, we are asking, how do we build trust into the very fabric of autonomous systems? We are moving toward a world of autonomous agents that will coordinate and act on our behalf. But this coordination requires a deterministic anchor of trust. CHERI is that anchor. By providing hardware-rooted isolation and memory safety, this technology creates the environment where the mathematical gatekeepers and verification frameworks we are building at ARIA can actually function. We aren't just trying to make AI safe, we're trying to make it provably safe. The work you are doing with CHERI is the bedrock of this new infrastructure. We're moving from an era where we hope the system holds to an era where we know the system is secure because the laws of the architecture demand it. As we scale these technologies, our goal is to move high assurance from the fringe of specialized systems into the core of the global digital economy. We have the history, and thanks to your work, we have the proof. Now we must have the collective will to build a world where trust is a fundamental property of the systems we rely on. I wish you a productive remainder of the conference. Good luck.